What's up, guys? Justin here with JT Creative, and we are in the last video of the video series where I'm laying out keyword research techniques that I use before every blog post or before optimizing a web page for myself or for a client. So step one, we figured out what keywords we wanted to use. Step two, we pulled extra keywords and long tail keywords out of Keywords Everywhere, which is a Google Chrome extension and a plugin for Firefox. And then we did a little bit of competitor research on the second, third ranking posts for our search phrase. We exported all of that in step three into a nice spreadsheet, combined it all together, decided to highlight some things green that we were going to target. In step four, we began putting down on, which is what we see on my screen here, a Google Doc, just pulling out topics and subtopics from the keyword data that we're going to include in our article. All of this is just to write an outline so that we have something to write the article from. The best practice you can do for keyword research is creating an outline, because it'll help you to write the article so much more efficiently. It's just easier that way. So we just bullet pointed a bunch of topics in here, and now we're going to dive in, create a quick outline so that we know what we're talking about in this blog post. So I'm going to start with an intro. Obviously, the intro is going to include some type of hook for readers. You want to make it interesting. Even though they found you and they clicked on your article, clearly they want to learn how to blog on WordPress. It still needs to be interesting enough to keep them reading. So we will do an intro hook, and we will dive into our first topic, which, looking at these bulleted points that we have up here, I'm going to say that we're probably going to start with learning curve. And that's not, so the learning curve that we talked about is that WordPress is not the most user-friendly site you can blog on, but it is the best, in my opinion. So we need to tell them that, hey, this is, you'll find it difficult at first, but stick with it, stay the course, everything will be fine. So I want to start with some sort of heading for this section, and I might just call it Getting Started with WordPress. That's incorporating a ton of our keywords, right? Getting started, WordPress, and it's short and to the point. Now, for a couple of points I'm going to make, user friendliness and where location of features, just kind of how to make your way around the interface, okay? And then from there, we will talk about the pricing plans, because how much does it cost to start a WordPress blog is a big, has a lot of search queries every month. So pricing plans, and we're just going to lay out all of the pricing plans on WordPress.com so that, and some of the features. I might do this in a chart. Chart, features, price. Okay, that way there's a visual element to it as well. Anytime you have numbers or any kind of like statistics or pricing plans like this that could be easily charted into a nice graphic, do that. You can whip those up in Canva really easily, and unique graphics are a big part of user experience and readability, and keeping people interested while they're reading your blog. So then we're going to go into our C point, which I think probably from here, and looking at the search volume is kind of where this is heading. So getting started, obviously a beginning topic. Pricing plans, that's one of the most Googled search terms with WordPress, is how much does it cost. So we just want to take the volume of keywords and just kind of run through. Now, here's the thing, there's a little bit of finagling here too, because you want it to make sense. The structure of the article needs to make sense, but we want to start with high volume keywords and work our way down. So C, I believe, was themes. So I'm going to talk about themes. What is a theme? And I'm going to do free versus premium themes. And then we could probably dive into some of the features of most common themes. Okay. From there, I'm going to talk about post versus page. This is something that gets Googled a lot. WordPress post versus page. So they're just looking for the difference between the two. A post is a blog post, something that's going to land in your blog feed. A page could be a static page that's just got information about your company. It could be your home page. Any number of things could go in there. And the way that they're treated is very differently. So I want to talk about the different features of of each variety. Different features, what they mean, and what they do. All right, and then we're going to talk about using plugins. I'm going to mention plugins, what they are, and my favorite / most useful plugins, okay? And then looking back up at our list, we've got a few other topics. Some of these can go together. I think headings, as I've got here, I think that's for a different post. We're talking about optimizing at that point, or it could be a subheading of SEO, depending on how far we get. So I'm going to do a design element, talk about a design element, which is columns versus grids. And again, what are they and how do they work? And then we're going to start landing this plane, and we're going to talk about customization and SEO. So we'll say customization. We'll go through how to input CSS and the theme editor, which allows you to edit simple elements like your header and your footer. And then our last topic is going to be SEO. Optimizing your pages, optimizing your posts. So here, oops, can't spell. Here we have a basic outline that we'll be able to expand upon and write an article using the keywords that we did in our research early on. Hopefully this article will land somewhere on the first page of Google. That's the idea, and that's the overall goal. And then optimizing posts, okay? And so within each one of these subtopics, we're going to want to expand as much as we can. And so these might be my headings. Getting started with WordPress is a great way to, I would use that as a heading. Pricing plans, I would not. Here's what I do. I like to use the questions that we found in Google to create headings. So how much does a WordPress site cost? Okay, we've got keywords in there. So that's another heading, might be an H2 or an H3. And then instead of this, I might pose it again as a question. What is a WordPress theme? Okay, you see how I'm doing this now. You make them questions, and then you answer that question immediately below in the first paragraph, and then you break it down, okay? And then what is the difference between post and page in WordPress? Okay, and then what is a WordPress plugin? So see how we're just trying to plug keywords into all of our headings, trying to plug keywords into the wherever we can, but obviously there's too much. You don't want to overdo it. Keyword stuffing is a real thing. If you put too much in there, Google will gloss over it because that's It's not it. If you talk about it in depth and you know what you're talking about, it will sound natural and you'll use the number of keywords you should naturally. Obviously, in the editing process, there are opportunities for you to say, ooh, I could say it like this and add a keyword. So be on the lookout for that when you're editing. And then how do I use columns and grids in WordPress? And then customizing my WordPress blog. And then optimizing my, SEO for WordPress or something like that. Again, I'm not married to these headings, but if I go in to write and I just have those bullets we just started, so see how I've edited we came in, we built a simple outline, now I'm editing it because the more you have here, the easier it'll be to write that article. So now I've got really good things that could be headings, but again, I can clean up those headings a little bit later as I begin to write the article. I may get some more inspiration for that. But all in all, this is a great way to start your blog article. This is really the only way. You got to do keyword research. I think each one of these videos has been like 4 or 5 minutes. This is the longest one, but I typed a lot in this video. So really the whole process doesn't take that long, but if you skip this process, you're going to miss out on a huge opportunity. And like I said before, if you have questions about this, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. And be on the lookout for other videos about writing, blogging, creating WordPress websites. Be on the lookout for other videos about SEO and things that I do to optimize people's pages. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks a lot.